Hello, hello. This is Adrian. This is actually brainstorming with Adrian. That's what I'm doing right now. And can you hear this? Yeah, I'm in Seattle, and you guys bear with me. I'm cooking some salmon right now, and I just did the trash and did some other things, and I think today this is about the best I'm going to do. I'm actually in shock that I actually got dressed today. I even have on earrings. I mean, I actually got dressed today, but I mentally, emotionally, I'm in a different place, and I don't even know how to start the conversation because today was Liberation Day, and if you've been listening to the news, depending on what the news, because I heard the news isn't telling everything. I heard the news was, you know, can I say something? I just have to say this, okay? When it comes to this administration and this man and what's going on right now, um, I feel like I'm watching um, what happens in a narcissistic abusive relationship. Okay, have you been in a narcissistic abusive relationship? Okay, if you haven't been in one, do you know someone who's been in a narcissistic abusive relationship? If you don't know or have not been in one, or you yourself are not a narcissist, or have encountered one, I mean, I'm telling you, when you encounter a narcissistic situation where you're because there's certain things they do, okay, and this is the only way I really know that I went through it myself, but it's like you go through the love bombing stage, and then there's the devaluing stage, and then there's the discarding stage, and then there's the hoovering stage, and then it's always worse when you take them back after the hoovering, and eventually it's almost like they have to step on you or annihilate you, and we're in that phase because you took him back. He let us know that he was a narcissist. He's a malignant narcissist. I mean, the professionals have said so. It's not like it's it's something that's hidden. uh, Many of the professionals have come out and said so. It is what it is. And we were warned, but he has a very staunch following that I call a cult, and they just don't believe it. So I guess he made some promises about things getting better, they'll be worse, and then they'll get better, and da 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 da. But the problem is, this man is talking about tariffs, and nothing good's going to come of tariffs. There was a reason why we had the Boston Tea Party and whatnot, and we left England. I think it was about taxes and tariffs. I saw where China, Japan, and South Korea put their differences aside to form a special pact, most likely so that they can start exporting and importing amongst themselves. They're closer to each other, it makes more sense, and they can forgo anything that has to do with America. They lived many years without having to have anything to do with America, and I'm sure they'll continue to do so long after. The sad part is the same applies for, I think, South America. They also don't really have a need for American products, if not necessary. They can forgo that and use other countries down in South America or Central America, forgoing the expensive prices of America altogether. Again, forgoing America and losing money. And that reminds me of what happened at the Dow, the stock. It dropped over 1,000 points, 1,600, I believe it was. The second highest day, I think, or one of the highest days, and the most highest day was a day when Trump was in office before. So I feel like some people have gone through, a hoovering phase. They went through what happens in narcissistic abusive relationships when the victims take the narcissist back. And I guess this is what just happened to America. And they just realized they were not only with a narcissist, but maybe even a sociopath. I don't know. Because he brought some friends along, you know what I mean? And that reminds me of all the stuff going on with Elon. Of course, they're trying to protect Elon, but most of the hatred that man's getting, at least in America, is because of what he's done with the programs he's cut. But in the rest of the world, in Europe, I guess it's just because his cars are bad. I mean, I know Canada said there was some type of 43 million or billion-dollar fraud, or I don't know. You know, it's funny that these gentlemen are facing so many different accusations and crimes throughout the world, and only his cult followers don't believe it. I believe it. I've been trying to tell people this was coming all along, because when you see the writing on the wall, you realize there's nowhere else to go. Like, it's a bad idea. But no one wanted to listen. And I mean, if you go back to October, I think I predicted everything. I kid you not. If you go back to my October broadcast, I predicted everything. I told you what would happen. Now, this was with my, I think on YouTube. I'm not sure if I uploaded it to Spotify or anywhere like that. And the company I had Gregarious on, it's something happened. They said they were hacked, and I have not been able to get Gregarious 1 back up. So a lot of my information, which was stored at Gregarious 1, is not there. And so I'm just kind of playing catch up and trying to figure out how I'm going to do anything. Everything is kind of slowed up for me because of that. But yeah, a lot of this information is available on YouTube. The saddest thing about it, or Blue Sky, or TikTok, or wherever Instagram, but I will tell you, some places like Facebook and Instagram, and even TikTok now, they don't allow all the information out. And mainstream media, you can just about forget getting valuable, precise, concise information, because everything is weighed upon whether or not it's going to be good for your career or not. They don't even tell the truth anymore. I mean, if their career is in jeopardy, they're not telling the truth. They're telling the partial truth. They're telling what they can get away with saying. That's And there's some things even I don't say, because I don't know if what I'm saying even now is too much. Who knows what's too much? After all, they're picking people up off the streets and randomly for no reason whatsoever, or because they might have spoke out, and it's scary. It's hard, because how do you tell the truth? It's almost like you have to read between the lines to get the truth, because people are afraid to tell the truth. I mean, I'm sure the closer you are to him, the more afraid you would be. I mean, my goodness, this is not good, people. It's not. I want to talk about something else, but really it's hard. And that's probably what I'm going to talk about. It is hard to brainstorm about anything when there's this much chaos going on in the world, when things are this, mishmash, and you can tell that there's your life might be in impending danger or something like that. People are losing their jobs. I mean, people are going to get desperate. It's a desperate time. And I don't want to minimize it, because I think some people want to minimize it, and we can't minimize it. And so it is a little bit scary. And, right now, I think we're all just trying to figure out what we're going to do to make sure we have enough money to come in to support our family, to keep things afloat, because we're at a point right now where that may not be options for some people. Those who are on Social Security might lose their Social Security. How will they survive? Even if you're not on Social Security, you might have a family member that is, and if they lose everything, then you might have to take that person in, feed that person. I mean, it's a destruction all the way around. Of course, if you own property or something and they're renting from you, how are they going to rent from you? You're going to end up losing, people in your places. There's so many different levels that this is going to affect us. Anyway, I just, I didn't mean to come and talk about Liberation Day, but, it was. And I guess the big joke is that most people feel like we were liberated from our GDP. Anyway, my fish is ready. I'm going to go and have dinner. I just wanted to come and say a few snarky words, because what else can you say on a day like today when you see America falling into the drain? It's frightening, because although I know his followers believe there's going to be some comeuppance and it's all going to get better, I believe, no, it's not going to get better. I believe that other people who had invested monies and things in America and in stock and things like that, they're pulling out. They're not going to work with us now. Why would they? There's no need to. If you can bypass it, anything distasteful. Why deal with things that's distasteful when you can bypass that altogether and deal with things that are tasteful and at least pleasant? And I feel like that's part of this equation that this man completely forgot about. It is a choice to deal with America. It is not a necessity. There are other countries that are waiting for their chance to sell and to have exports and, maybe even imports at a lower price. There's so much potential without America. And that's the part, I think, the flaw in his plan. I don't know what he thinks we have that they desperately need, but I have a feeling we probably need it more than they do. And that's the flaw in the plan. Especially when places like China are making deals with everybody and they make everything cheaper. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here and go get my food before it burns. I just had to say something because I wanted to, commemorate the day. I don't want to, go like, where were you on that day? This is where I was. This is what I was doing. I noticed everything. And let's pray it gets better, because Neptune went into Aries, or is going into Aries, if not already into Aries. Either way, there's going to be some changes. And I'm going to be talking about Neptune and Aries and going deep into that for everybody. I think everybody needs to know about it. It's something we really need to talk about. Anyway, I'll be back soon. All right. Bye. Bye.
Astrology, a look inside. Presenting astrology and tarot readings for all.